Hello parents. Thank you for taking time to listen to this presentation. The transition from one key stage to another can be really difficult, even when it involves staying in the same school. And I'm sure every child has heard different conversations in classrooms from their peers, from staff, from their parents, from their siblings, about how the subject content becomes more challenging, and also there is a greater level of independence required them at this stage, and they've probably even experienced that in the classroom. Now, for many of our students, this is a natural progression in their studies, but for others, it is quite challenging. Now, the purpose of this presentation is to help parents to be more involved, to be more informed, to understand what it is that is being asked of the students at GCSE now. It's certainly changed since I took O-levels, so it may have changed since you experienced GCSEs. We also want you to be confident enough to have those valuable conversations with your children about what they're experiencing at the moment and in the next 18 months. We'll also be covering some of the issues that are more prevalent of students that progress through their GCSEs. So now I will pass over to Mr. Cowling, the Director of Key Stage 4.
It's been a real delight to welcome your daughters to Key Stage 4 over the last few weeks. I've seen them engaging with the start of their GCSE years with huge energy, working hard in the classroom and taking part in the extracurricular life of the school. We know that they've had a challenging Key Stage 3, blighted by the pandemic. They've lived through the lockdowns, they've experienced those years when attendance at school became so difficult. And what's exciting is to see the return to normal that's now possible. It's so good to know that we can attend every day, that the students can spend time with one another, that they can be in the classroom full time, and that they can also engage with the extracurricular programme. We know that one of the things that makes the school so successful is the partnership we have with you as parents, and that it's helpful for you to know what is going on in school. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about what life looks like for your daughters in school at the start of Key Stage 4. Obviously, the key development for the students this term has been beginning on their GCSE courses. They're studying reformed GCSEs. There was a significant programme of reform just before the pandemic. And that's made the GCSEs knowledge rich. There's a lot of content. Now, that shouldn't be something that frightens or concerns students in this school. These new reformed GCSEs are challenging. There's lots of good material for the students to wrestle with. They are well suited for students at Watford Girls. And at this early stage of Key Stage 4, the key thing we want students to do is find the enjoyment in their learning, to find the fascination in the new material with which they are engaging. It's obviously important that they do keep up to date as they go along, because there's a lot of knowledge to learn and consolidate. If they remain on top of their learning, they'll find things easier as they move through the course. You'll be able to make sure that this is happening for your daughter in a number of ways. You'll know that we set homework on Teams, and each weekend you receive an email that summarises the assignments that have been set for your daughter and what she's handed in. Do keep an eye on that. It will give you a sense of the work that your daughter is doing. You'll also be used to the regular reports that we produce. You've just had one about the start of Year 10. And again, that will give you a sense of how your daughter's getting on and whether there are any concerns that you need to address with her. Alongside the learning that's taking place, we're also very keen to ensure that the students in Year 10 have a really good sense of well-being as they begin on their years at GCSE. School's an exciting place at the moment. Our wide extracurricular offer is running, and it means that we see students not just working in the classroom, but also spending time with one another and being able to participate in so many activities that are valuable to them. I'm going to share here a tool that we're using in school when we talk to your daughters about well-being, and it may be helpful to be aware of this as it can be useful to start conversations with young people. It's the 5 ways to well-being. It's a tool that's used widely in educational settings and across the NHS, and it just reminds us that in order to have good well-being, we need to get balance in life. We need to keep learning, and of course there's lots of that in the lives of the Year 10 students, but we need to do other things as well. We need to connect with one another, online and offline. We need to be active. We need to take notice of the things that bring us joy, and we need to make sure that we're giving. We're trying to make sure that we offer all of those experiences to our young people in school, and the 5 ways to well-being can be a useful set of principles when we're having conversations with students if we think that what they need to do is to rebalance their lives a little bit. I've spoken quite a lot about the extracurricular programme. It's a hugely important part of our lives in school, and I'd encourage you to talk to your daughter about what she's doing from that programme. The overview is available on our website. There's a really rich variety of sports clubs, musical activities and other things running, and participating in those clubs and societies is one good way in which all of our students can ensure that they have that balance in life. Of course, one of the challenges that we all face around well-being is connected to the online world. We're all spending more time online, and that comes with benefits, but it also comes with challenges and risks. We're doing a lot of work in school around online safety. It's something that's featured in the PACE programme since Year 7. It features in the Year 10 and Year 11 PACE curriculum. It's also something that's addressed in subject lessons. I just want to signpost here an excellent source of information for parents, which is the UK Safer Internet Centre. They've got superb pages for parents and carers, and if this is something that you're interested in exploring further, I'd really strongly recommend that you have a look at the materials they provide. We're keen to make sure that there is support for all of our students at moments when they need it. Around school, this poster can be seen, and it reminds all of our students about the wellbeing programmes that exist at school and about where they can find support if they feel they need it in school. The key message really is that if any of your daughters feels that they would like extra support in school, they just need to talk to a trusted adult in school. That might be their form tutor, it might be Mrs. Hall or Miss Pooley, or any other adult that they know and feel they have a relationship of trust with. And then we've got systems that will ensure that those young people get to the support that they need. I also want to mention the wellbeing page on our website. This is a page that has a very wide range of links to external organisations. Organisations that provide support with just about every issue that could arise in a young person's life. We make reference to this in school, and I'd strongly recommend that you have a look at it, maybe bookmark it, and then you have it as a source of reference if at any point during Key Stage 4 you or your daughter are looking for additional support. I've talked quite a lot about what's happening in school as Key Stage 4 begins. I want to just finish by giving a reminder about attendance. It really does matter. Our exam data from this summer shows that students who are attending regularly achieve grades which are significantly better than those who have a number of absences. So being in school is the key to success. As at Key Stage 3, if your daughter is absent through illness, and we know that that will happen sometimes, please report her absent by emailing the absence address. And then the priority is to allow her to rest and recover. If she does want to catch up, she should ask a friend to collect the work, and then we look forward to seeing her back in school as soon as she's well enough to participate in the school day. I'm going to hand over now to Mrs. Hall, the head of Year 10, who's going to speak a little bit more about other things that have been taking place for your daughters this term.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Hall and I'm the head of Year 10. Miss Pooley is the deputy head of year and we have a team of 7 form tutors, most of which have worked with Year 10 from Year 7. I wanted to start by saying how proud I am of how your daughters have started this year. They've made a fantastic start to Year 10 and their GCSEs in this first half term. It was lovely to see so many of Year 10s signing up to be tour guides. They did a brilliant job and many of the parents commented on the positive impression they gave of the school and of themselves. Year 10 had a difficult start to secondary school due to the COVID lockdowns, but I've been so pleased with the resilience they have shown. This will stand them in really good stead for their GCSEs. So I just wanted to take a little bit of time now to talk about form time. Each morning we start with form time for 15 minutes. This is a really important part of the day to prepare themselves for the school day and their lessons. We use this time for assemblies, reading and academic monitoring and to plan charity events. Please help your child to arrive punctually to school. The charity we'll be supporting this year is Pakistan Flood Relief and Islamic Relief. Some students find the transition to GCSEs demanding. Their form tutor should always be their first port of call if they are struggling. If you have concerns, please contact your child's form tutor. Academic monitoring happens on a Wednesday each week. Students and form tutors use this time to discuss the positives and any issues there are, both academically and with well-being. If we are particularly concerned, we will contact you. So now I'm going to just take some time to talk about PACE. The PACE curriculum covers the key strands identified by the PSHE Association, which are health and well-being, relationships and living in the wider world. PACE happens once a week on a Tuesday afternoon. This year we've started with information about GCSEs and the teenage brain. Next half term we will cover careers, and after the Christmas holidays we will cover topics related to living in the wider world, including alcohol, drugs, knife crime and pregnancy. More details can be found on our website. Starting GCSEs is an important time. Some students have developed the skills they need, but others will need more support from their parents or carers. Your daughters have recently learned about sleep in their PACE sessions. It is recommended that teenagers get 8 to 10 hours of sleep each night for both their physical and mental well-being. It can help them perform better at school, cope with stress, eat more healthily, and manage their moods. Getting to sleep can be more difficult for some teenagers, but there are some things they can do to help with this, including establishing a sleep routine, not consuming caffeine after around midday, exercising and limiting screen time before bed. Please help your daughter to develop a routine when she gets home to enable her to complete homework and revision earlier in the evening so that she can go to bed at a reasonable time. Your daughter may also need help to find the right environment to work in. Different students work better in different environments, but most people need a quiet and comfortable space with less distractions. Some students may find it useful to have background music on, while others find this distracting. If there isn't somewhere at home they're able to work in, you could encourage them to attend study club after school, or go to a local library, or study with a trusted friend. It is widely acknowledged that taking breaks increases efficiency. Students should take a break every 30 minutes to 1 hour after studying, and that should be between 10 and 30 minutes depending on the length of time they've been working. If they work for any longer than this, they will be less productive and it may take them longer to complete their work. Help them to continue to do activities that they enjoy alongside their studies and encourage them to exercise. This will improve their physical and mental well-being. You were recently sent a supporting links brochure for autumn 2022 in a parent mail, of which the topics are on this slide. This may help you during this transitional period.
That brings us to the end of this short presentation. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch it. Please do be in contact with us in school if there's anything you'd like to discuss further. We'll look forward to seeing you at various points over this next 2 years, and of course to seeing your daughters flourish as they move through Key Stage 4.